Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be checking out Ellen Pompeo's $10 million house in Malibu. So this house is really special. We thank you to Architectural Digest for letting us check this out, and we're going to go through and let you know what we think, but make sure that you stay tuned to the end because we're going to let you in on a couple of little secrets.
Hey AD, I'm Ellen Pompeo. Welcome to my house at the beach.
I can already tell there's going to be a lot of things that I'm going to be having an opinion on. I'll get into it just a second.
So I worked on this house together with my longtime friend and interior design partner in crime, Martin Lawrence Bullard. We get into lots of trouble together and have a load of fun. When I first bought this house, he found this original Desade sofa from the 60s, which is very unusual.
Okay, so there's no shot that this, and I know this probably costs a lot of money. This couch is probably really expensive, but it's just not my vibe. No offense to her, but it's not my favorite couch in the world. But I mean, let me know what you guys think.
Patchwork leather. And we sort of built all of our inspiration around this sofa. And then the walls. I think the book match marble is really striking. It's so dramatic and it sets the perfect tone for everything. And it really is art in itself. Okay, so this is like the main dining area for the kids. This is where they sit. The kids have a lot of fun at this table throwing food at each other. And then I scream at them from over there. Okay, so I cook a lot. So I have a lot of rules regarding this kitchen. This kitchen is very small. I don't like anybody in the kitchen when I'm in here. So everybody has to stand behind this line. There are 3 stools that I've been nice enough to put here for the children. They each have their own stool. And nobody is to come around into the kitchen. If they want something, they're supposed to stand there or sit there and ask me for it.
I like this. This is really strict, and she has a lot of order in this house. She has control of those kids to make sure that they're not all running around the kitchen, because nobody likes kids running around a kitchen. Nobody.
This is my space. So again,
shout out MySpace.
And we have the same Brazilian book match marble, which if you notice, the design sort of comes together even though.
That's a lot of marble. If she got any more marble, I think this place would just roll away.
Even though the walls are separated, the pattern flows in a way that is really beautiful. And it really sort of reminds you of the waves of the ocean. You can't help but just sit and stare at the ocean all day when you're here. So the apothecary jars Martin found at the Parisian flea market, which I absolutely love, and in Los Angeles, because the ground moves, those are tacked down with some sticky tape to make sure that if the house shakes, those don't.
Shout out San Diego. Ground don't be moving that much.
Don't fall off and hit anybody in the head. So obviously this is the formal dining room in this house, and sometimes when we have a lot of people over, the kids all sit at that table and the adults will sit at this table.
I've got something to tell you guys about these chairs, but I'm gonna wait a little while and I'm gonna add it to a later part in the video because it just has something to do with the numbers of these chairs. We'll check it out in a second.
It's big enough for so many people. The view is incredible. I wake up and have.
And keep in mind, there's not 4 chairs, there's 8 chairs.
My coffee here in the morning. And Martin custom made this table. The middle moves. It's a Lazy Susan, so it's great because all these people can sit around the table. The chandelier is a modern piece, but obviously the vibe is very 60s. Okay, so we are in the primary bedroom, and there's a couple of things about this room that are worth mentioning. The marble you see behind us was inspired by this amazing art movie called I Am Love, and so this is sort of an homage to that. My husband wanted a custom-made bed so that all the kids, we could all sleep in here together on the weekends. So this is the primary bathroom. We spend a lot of time in here, me and my daughters, and we just try to sit around and relax. The chairs are William Jewell.
More marble.
Again, just a nice little sitting area, and it's just a nice, quiet space. You try to get some calm and peace. Full disclosure, marble baths don't retain heat so well. I don't really recommend it. It looks very cool, but the water doesn't stay warm for long. And I loved this bench. It's all made out of terry cloth. So you could sit here wet and it's kind of like a big towel.
I like the artistic vision that she has with some of this marble, but I think a lot of it's going overboard.
So we are outside. We're in the back of the house on the bluff at the ocean, and this is all original to the house. It's freezing in Malibu at nighttime, so to have a fire pit out here is really nice. This tree, it's a yucca tree, and I just think it's so sculptural and gorgeous. And so when we chose the color for the sofas, that was really our inspiration. One of my biggest struggles as a mother is like getting the kids away from the TV and away from the iPads, right? So sometimes I just banish them to those chairs and I make them.
I think the best thing about this house, or at least my favorite thing about this house, is the exterior of the house and the backyard. So this gives me a very much like Torrey Pines, like bluffs, like looking out over the ocean vibe.
Sit there and watch the ocean and tell me what you see.
Again, she rules with an iron fist, and I appreciate that. You get out there and you watch that ocean until you're sick of it, and then you watch it some more.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa. That's too damn bad!
This is the kids' bedroom. I knew that I love purple, obviously, and we knew we were going with color for this house. But this wallpaper, this David Hicks-inspired grass cloth, is quite graphic and cool. And so we started with that. This backgammon table is one of my favorite things. It's fantastic, and we're big backgammon players, and we're teaching the kids. So we've put it in here to inspire the kids to learn how to play backgammon. So
I've never played backgammon, but I was a ringer at checkers in my day. So I don't know if they're anything similar, but I know that they use the same board like flipped over, and they like to print them on each side. So, I mean, Ellen, if you're trying to play, maybe let's just have a friendly competition of checkers. And I might have to wipe the floor with you.
So this is another guest room. And what's special about this room is all the photography. So these are all very important moments in Black history. Diana Ross, outside Motown. The Martin Luther King, obviously I Have a Dream here. The tables are 50s, Gio Ponte 50s. And then we also have some amazing Herb Ritz photography here. Obviously my children are Black.
I like the vibe of this room. So this room is black and white. Like nothing to it, black and white. And it has these white slats on the side, these panels that are very, very mid-century modern. And it fits with the theme, but it's a little different than the rest of the house, and it's definitely different looking than the front of the house and the exterior, like I was saying.
So we're at the pool right now, and in California we really keep shallow pools because we have to be conscious. And the pool is the perfect place to hang out in this California heat, even though it's not that hot today. Typically this house is not very peaceful. When you have a beach house, a lot of people want to come and visit. And so this place, we always have the music blasting, and there's always so many kids running around and playing in the pool. The house was built by Buff and Hensman, which are quite well-known architects here in California. And the house had to be completely rebuilt because of the damage that the sea and the salt air does. So I took the house completely to the studs and redid it. And the biggest change I think I made was it was not all walls of glass before, and I replaced all the existing walls with glass.
I like that, and you have a lot of privacy up on these bluffs. There's not really anybody looking inside of you. I also have I have word that she did purchase the house next door just recently. So she owns two houses. That one I think was like $10 million, and she purchased this one for a whopping 6.5 in 2013. Privacy, not gonna be an issue if you own the next door neighbor.
So this is the guest house, and Martin and I started this room with the wallpaper. The wallpaper was something we fell in love with, and we built the whole room around that. What's interesting about this house is it's mid-century modern, right? So there's a lot of glass, there's a lot of cement, a lot of marble, which is all really hard. So it definitely needs something to soften it. So I think all the warm textures, the wicker, the wood of the house, and you need that natural element to soften it. And I always make sure I have flowers and a candle, and there's a little espresso machine down there under the nightstand.
But how rich do you have to be to put an espresso machine below the nightstand? Like, who just has an extra one to just throw under the nightstand. Shout out to her for having money to blow. And speaking of having money to blow, this house, like I said, cost I think like about $6.5 million when she bought it in 2013. Now, it's worth way more than that, especially if you add the other house that she bought next door. But, you know, it seems like a lot of money, but I read that she made $20 million, or 19, but $20 million in 2020 when she, you know, was redoing this and everything. So to fathom that she just like paid for this whole renovation, she bought this whole house and paid for it all with like 1 year's work. I mean, that is a dream that we all want to achieve. Okay, so there was one thing that I wanted to tell you guys about these chairs, and I left it to the end so that we could actually dive into it. These are not cheap chairs. Like, when you have this much money, you can just throw it around like anything. So if we come out of here and we check out all of the things that they've listed, and I go down to the dining room chairs, they're almost $6,000. And that's $6,000 for 4 of them. She has 8. So she spent a total of $11,000 on these chairs. Let me know if you guys think that these chairs are worth it. I mean, they're absolutely beautiful 1980 vintage chairs, but man, that's a hefty price tag to be spending on these. So thank you guys for watching. We appreciate you being here to watch the channel and all the support that you guys have. If you made it this far and you made a comment and you liked, please make sure that you subscribe to make sure that you stay up to date on the new stuff that we have coming up. Until next time, we'll see you.